Hi guys! So I'm back and I have a new video for this week, and this week is going to be my favorite books as a teen. It's just going to be a few books that I read and I enjoyed as a teen, and a lot of them are series because I'm the type of person that likes to read series of books. You know, I don't like having standalone books, although I do read standalone books, but I like when there's like more than one. Yeah, so what I want to talk about that I loved as a teenager was the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I loved the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. It's, again, another YA book. There was actually a movie on the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I'm not sure if there was one or two, but if you like those movies, you can also check out the book series because they're just as great, if not even better than the movies. Yeah. And the series has 5 books in total, I believe, and the author is the same author that wrote My Name is Memory, which I mentioned in another video of being one of my favorite books that I found last year. So you can check both those out, and they're both teen fiction books. Okay, so another book series that I want to talk about that I loved as a teenager was Anne Rice's vampire books. Vampire Chronicle books. But it definitely deals with supernatural, vampires, witches, ghosts, things like that. There is a movie that's based on one of her books, Interview with the Vampire. Oh, and there's another one, Queen of the Damned, which is another one of her books. But yeah, she has a lot of books in the series, which is really cool. Every book pretty much focuses on a different vampire. It's really good. It's gothic fiction, I think I would classify it as. I think it's probably more for like of a mature teen, because there are some topics in the book sometimes that might not be the best for someone that's a bit younger, but definitely somebody that's a little bit more mature that would like any of those kind of gothic-y, dark type of books. Another book that I found when I was a teenager and I loved so much that I ended up reading the other books by the same author was Pride and Prejudice. I could wax on and on and on about my love for Pride and Prejudice. I love it so much, but I'll keep it to a minimum. Anyways, yeah, so if you aren't familiar with Pride and Prejudice, or Jane Austen, or just anything to do with that, and you don't know, I mean, there's countless movies, there's remakes, there's adaptations, like Bridget Jones's Diary, that's an adaptation of Pride and Prejudice. Yeah, there's so many. Bride and Prejudice. Even on YouTube here, they had the LIZZIE BENNET Diaries, and that was an adaptation of the the Pride and Prejudice book. Okay, so another book series which I loved as a teenager, and I mean, I think you might know what I'm talking about. Harry Potter. I loved Harry Potter when I was younger. It was like, oh my gosh, it was like the best thing ever when I found it. I found it when I was like in 9th grade or something. When I was like 14, I started reading it. And I just became obsessed. If you haven't read Harry Potter, I would suggest you go out and you get the books, because they're amazing and they're not just for teenagers. I think any age range could read this book. Yeah, I love it. I have reread the series so many times and I think it's amazing. So Harry Potter is on my list. So the next book series that I want to talk about is the Princess Diaries. The Princess Diaries is a teen lit, it's like a chick lit, young adult kind of series. And you might have heard of it because there were some movies that were made based on the books. But of course, movies aren't exactly like the books, so if you like the movies, then maybe you'd be interested in reading the books. So those are just a few of the books that I chose that I remember loving as a teenager. I'm sure, I know that I have like countless more, but those are just a few series that I decided to share with you guys. Yeah, so I'm going to leave you guys off with a question. What were your favorite books as a teenager? I'm just curious. Anyway, so I'll see you guys next week for a new video, and that's it. Bye!